how our Coast Guard Grumman Duck got involved with this was on November 5th, a U.S. Army Air Force C-53 was transiting the area as part of Operation Bolero. It crashed at an unknown location. The U.S. Army Air Force had sent out a B-17 to go look for the C-53. During the course of that flight, the B-17 crashed, we believe, back up over here. That was on November 9th, 1942 is when that B-17 crashed. On November 28th, the Coast Guard cutter Northland, which was out of the area, was redirected to go to the Kogi Bay area and go look for the B-17. It had been located by that time. On November 28th, the Coast Guard cutter Northland pulled into Comanche Bay right here, launched their Grumman Duck, and took off and flew over just near the B-17. They couldn't get too close because of all the ice crevassing. So on November 28th, the Coast Guard, the Grumman Duck successfully landed on the ice, was able to retrieve 2 of the B-17 crewmen, got them in the plane, and took off with the wheels up, takeoff. They made it back to the Coast Guard cutter Northland back over here in Comanche Bay, offloaded their 2 people. On November 29th, they went back to the B-17 crash site again in an attempt to rescue more people. A storm was coming in, and they were told that they need to get out of there real quick, so they could only pick up 1 of the B-17 crewmen, which happened to be the radioman, Corporal Lauren Howarth. During the course of their return back to the Northland down here, they encountered a blizzard, one of the Greenland blizzards that was coming through, real bad snowstorm, and we think they tried to turn around and make it back to their takeoff area over here. The last radio transmission from Lieutenant John Pritchard, the pilot of the Grumman Duck, was MO, 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 and that stands for magnetic orientation. What he was doing was calling for bearings from the Coast Guard cutter Northland to tell him where he's at. And that was the last thing ever heard from Lieutenant Pritchard. And this is on November 29th of 1942. And again, we think, based on the historical evidence that we have collected so far, the documents and some of the hand-drawn sketches, we're pretty sure that the aircraft, the Grumman Duck, crashed right along in here, in this area right here. After the Grumman Duck had crashed on November 29th, it was the last time we heard from them. On December 7th, I believe it was, some of the aircraft that were flying over, dropping supplies to the B-17 back up here, spotted the Grumman Duck down in this area right here. What that did in turn, it launched a recovery team off the Northland, and they tried to make it from Beachhead Station right here, go over the top and come this way, but they never made it because of all the severe ice crevassing and the storms that were in the area. Because of our Coast Guard search party that left Beachhead Station, which was led by Ensign Fuller off the cutter Northland, the U.S. Army Air Force, working with the U.S. Navy, came up with the idea of setting a Navy PBY on the ice cap, land it wheels up over here. And by doing that, they were able to get the rest of the B-17 crew off. Now, the B-17 crew had to survive inside the crashed B-17 from November all the way through April the following year of 1943. And they were able to do that by the airdrops that were coming in from the other U.S. Army Air Force aircraft that were dropping parts and supplies, fuel, blankets, and stuff like that to them. As we can see from this map that we have provided by our NGA partners, which is our National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, they developed this 3D map chart for us. The distance from Comanche Bay all the way over here to the crash site where the B-17 was at, this is approximately 34 miles. So you can see the difficulty that the rescuers had trying to go from here, Comanche Bay, all the way over towards the crash site. That's why I was determined to go ahead and replicate what Lieutenant Pritchard had done, is land the Navy PBYs nearby the B-17 crash site and try and get the rest of the B-17 crew off that way, which they successfully did. and that was how they got most of the B-17 crew off.